Hi guys, it's Andrew here from East Made Wood Splitters. We have one question that comes up quite a bit on different forums, and even when people call us, why would you pay that much for a wood splitter when you can buy an entry-level processor for a little bit more money? The two main factors to making that decision are the quality of wood you have and the service life you want to expect out of that piece of equipment. So, in terms of quality of wood, you have to factor in the size of the wood you get, the length of the wood you get, and the overall straightness of the wood you get. So, if you have a lot of stuff that's really large diameter, that's up around, starts to get over that 12, 13 inch mark quite a bit, then most of those small processors aren't capable of handling that. They'll advertise them around 14 inches, but you're running a 14-inch hydro pole. If there's a crook in that, if there's a bend in that piece of wood, if there's a knot on it, you're gonna have to screw around and try and get that log in there. Now, when you get into the heavier machines, like you get into a Bell 6000 or 8000, you're gonna be able to run that machine at its limit, but you're gonna be paying good money for it. So that's kind of the difference between an entry-level processor and something that's a little higher caliber. So, in terms of the length of the wood, you want to make sure you're utilizing the full length capacity of that processor. You get a bunch of stuff that's 4, 5, 6 feet long. If you're a tree service and you're pulling down wood that's about that length and loading it, what you're gonna find is you're gonna have an offcut every 3 or 4 cuts. So every minute you're gonna have an offcut that you're either gonna have to throw to the side, roll in a splitter and push through it, or screw around with it. So the other thing you run into with that is you end up having loaded a lot too. So every 3 or 4 cuts you have to put another log on it. So that's the other thing to look at. The species of wood is a big thing. If you get into a lot of hard stuff, you get a live oak, eucalyptus, elm, sycamore, black gum, locust, hickory, a lot of that stuff is really hard stuff to split. So even if you find something that's, even if you get the wood that's in that range that runs through the processor that it cuts, you're still going to have a difficult time splitting it any more than 4 ways. Even a lot of the singles, like you get into some of that really stringy stuff like that gum and alum and stuff, it's going to have a lot harder time. It may do it, but you're going to be pushing that machine to its limits all of the time. And that kind of brings us over to the other part of that, which is service life. So most of those entry-level processors are going to do really well if you're a single guy doing it. If you're a guy that's easy on things, you're looking after things, you're probably going to know where that machine's limits are, and you're probably not going to push them. You're going to look after it. You've made an investment. You're probably going to look after that machine really well. You probably have a logger or somebody you're buying your logs off of that's going to be able to bring you stuff that's going to be able to fit in with considerable ease. And when I say that, like you're always going to get some wood that's too big. Like you're never going to get a perfect little log. It's beautiful every time. You're always going to get the big stuff, and it's the big stuff that's hard to handle in the first place. It's not that stuff that's 8 or 10 inches that's hard to handle. It's that stuff that's that 20 or 30 inch mark that you really need a machine that's capable of doing it. And the other thing you'll see too is how heavy we actually build this. Like you can see, this splitter doesn't have anything extra on it that it doesn't need. It weighs 2,500 pounds. It's got a big heavy beam. You can see the wedge is very well supported. The great big pusher on it, great big rod. Everything is built on this machine to be able to be used and abused and run commercially all of the time. So that splitter there weighs 2,500 pounds. The entry-level processors I've been looking at, most of them are in between that 2,000 and 3,000 pound range with conveyors on them. So what you're finding is this machine, just the splitter weighs 2,500, where the whole processor, conveyor and everything weighs 2,500 pounds. So that just kind of tells you how much steel is actually in them. And if you get around a bunch of guys that are, if you have employees, if you happen to be a bit of a savage yourself, maybe if you know you're a little hard on things. I know myself, I'm not the easiest guy on equipment myself. So but if you know you're hard on things, if you know your crew of guys are hard on things, then one of those entry-level processors is probably going to be more aggravation than what it's worth. Because if something's bent on it, if something's broke on it, Every minute that somebody's wrenching on it is a minute that you're not actually doing something, and you lost another minute because you're never going to get it back anyways. So that's just my 2 cents on it. That's kind of my take on it. Like I said, like the entry-level processors, if you're skidding your own hitches, if you have a logger or somebody bringing you wood that's going to bring you wood consistently, that's going to run through it, then that's probably going to serve you all right if you're easy on things. But if you're looking for a really heavy-duty commercial machine that you're going to be able to run and abuse, let your guys run, then this is the better way to go. If you have any questions, by all means ask. Subscribe to us on YouTube, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Instagram. Any questions, please ask. My cell phone number is 613-812-3213. I normally have it on me, and you can reach me there. Thanks a lot.